morning, everybody. Track and field fans out there. Once again, coming at you from the morning show here outside Eugene, Oregon. Inside Eugene, Oregon, outside Hayward Field.
Yeah.
Got that one mixed up. Only been doing this almost every morning. We're all here. We're so excited. We have an incredible guest, and I think we're excited here for the morning.
Yeah, so we're joined now by Chari Hawkins, who just qualified for her first Olympic team, brought the hardware and everything. Yeah. Last year's World Championship finalist, and just incredible. I mean, the emotion pouring out of you at the finish line was so incredible to watch. I guess like you've seen all the photos plastered everywhere. You were still crying in the mixed zone, crying. There were a lot of tears.
I would probably cry today, I'll be honest. I actually got sent a photo of two photos, one of my sister, and she posted, she was like, here, this was 11 years ago. Chari got, and it was like a big thing, and it was like, Chari went 55, like 60, and took like 11th at nationals. Like, we're so proud of her. And it was like me in like my little Utah State like jersey at Hayward Field, and then like she's like this full circle moment here, like she's going to the Olympics. Like, it was pretty cool. So like I was like crying with that. And then I also had another photo just sent to me this morning that was me talking about how like I just know the javelin's going to be my big point event one day. And like, even though right now it's not, and I was like, but I'm working on it. You know what I mean? And it was just like, that was also a full circle moment too. So it's just like, it's all just really crazy, to be honest. It's just insane.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I was the one doing the interview with you in the mix zone, and you did bring that up. You were like, this is, when I first started my social media journey, this is something that I put out there, this javelin manifestation. I'm curious, you had such a great comp, like 5 of 8 personal bests, I think, or 5 of 7, apologies.
3, right?
3? Okay.
Yeah, 3 PBs.
Well, either way.
And then a couple season bests, to
yeah,
be fair.
How much manifestation goes into every event that you sort of put yourself through?
So one thing I just kept telling myself is just hold space while you're feeling all of this like doubt and fear, and your ego is like, you can't do it. Stop trying so hard. You're gonna get yourself hurt. You just have to continue to hold space for the potential possibility of like all of the things that you want actually happening. And I think this is the first time I've really held on to that. I remember last year at World Championships, it was really fun because I was just there to have fun. I was like, this is great. I'm here. Good for me.
You gave your famous speech.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. I just decided to be like, I do. You know, the reason it took me so long, like, the heptathletes get to do like a little lap. The lap took me 2 hours.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was like an hour. They actually like, I had a security team being like, your medal ceremony is in 5 minutes. Like, no, you can't. And it's because I just kept giving speeches to the crowd. Somebody would ask me a question, and I'd be like, wait, let me just. And it's like, I need to stop. I'm such a chatty Cathy, and I'm just like, I'm like, wait, you can do it, I promise. Let me tell you exactly why, point by point by point. And so, yeah. But
I love that, especially, I mean, what I'm hearing too is like you're connected with the fans, right? They want to see you and meet you. Talk to me about that with the Hayward Magic here. I mean, what's that like competing in there, and how does that, I think, just motivate you?
Yeah, I get really excited when I see people that just like are here to like watch people succeed and here to cheer people on. And I had such an amazing, like, my whole family came. They had the Team Chari shirts, and that was super cool. I loved having them there, and it was like a really honor. Like, every time somebody'd be like, we're coming to see you, I would get 2 feelings. I'd get like the like, oh no, what if I let them down? And then I'd get the thing and be like, actually, like, these people don't love track. And they don't love me because I do track. They love track because of me. And so that's like the one thing, like, with my family is like keeping that in mind is like, these guys are here to have my back, win, lose, or draw, kind of a thing. But to see also people who were just so excited to see my success that like maybe didn't have a Team Chari shirt on, but they were just like so like proud of me, and they've been following my journey. And especially seeing people who were either young and did and were doing track now to kind of just be like, listen, like, you can do it, even if it takes you 20 years, because I've actually officially been doing track for 20 years.
Wow.
And, yeah. So it's like, even if it takes you 20 years, you can do it. But then to see the people who have loved track since they were young, and they're just like so proud of me. Maybe they were Olympians themselves, or maybe they just did track when they were younger, but like they just love the sport so much. It's really cool to see that because I'm so passionate about it. So to share that with other people was really cool.
So over the course of just like all of the different events, like there's just so much time to think, right? Like
it's awful.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it. Just make me go do it right now. You have 3 minutes. Go do it. Okay, cool. I don't have time to think.
Anna, because I chatted with her, and she said on the first day there was like a breakthrough moment for her in the high jump where she was like so outwardly emotional. It's like, we are so back, or like, I'm so back, given everything that she had gone through. And then sort of she, let out all that emotion at the finish line because it was this culmination of just like all this pressure from building up from the last trials, and then the injury that popped up in January. And it's in that 800 that she realized, we're doing it. Like, this is it. Like, your life's about to change. You're about to become an Olympian. When did that start happening for you?
Okay, so I think that for the first thing I wanted to say, like with Anna, and I told her this, is I don't think very many people are like quite understanding about what it takes to come back through surgery. So like I had surgery, and it took
cross training is crazy.
It took me 9 months to get done with my surgery. I was not pain free for 9 months, and I would see interviews with her. And like she was like not even running yet. She's like barely jogging, and people are like, "Oh, so you're like ready now, right? Like we're all expecting you to do everything, and we're putting everything on you." And she's like, "Okay," like, and she handled it like a champ. But like, look at this like work ethic. And I like told her that I was like, I hope you know, like I do not take lightly like what you've done. And I think a lot of people don't. But there's also probably a lot of people that don't understand like exactly how crazy it is to have surgery in January and to have to do so much. And like she crushed it. So that's, I mean, all hats off to her. Like truly, truly, truly. Like I know how it is, and like she crushed it. And it's also her second time coming back from surgery and being a boss. Like, it just goes to show, like, how awesome and resilient she is. But the other thing is, like, about, like, becoming an Olympian, and especially, like, having disappointment the year before. Like, I definitely know how that is as well. I think that there was a moment when I was throwing my javelins where, like, I felt so connected to what I was doing, and I haven't felt that in the javelin in a long time. I've been having the correct technique for a long time, but then as soon as I get into competition, I over try a little bit, and there was something that was like so like I was so connected in a way I've never have been. And even when I threw my 47.97 or something like that for my second attempt, I went to my coach. I was like, I have more. This next one's going to go further. I can tell. And when I saw the 49, it was like 49.28 or something. It was a huge PB, and I remember just like releasing like, oh, okay. And then I like went down. And I was like, I think you just threw yourself into the Olympics, literally. Wow. Like I really think you just threw yourself into the Olympics, and that was kind of like a moment for me. But you guys know probably like my 800 has been a hot mess. And as hard as I've been working at it, in practice, there's something about me being like, oh yeah, like easy. I'm crushing it. But then I get into competitions and I overthink or I overtry, I tighten up, like whatever that looks like. So there was also, I know I'm up against two really phenomenal 800 runners, and I had to stay 12 seconds behind Michelle, and I had to stay 4.5 seconds behind Talia, where both of them are really incredible. And I was like, you gave yourself two chances, because you can do both of those things, but they're not gonna make it easy on you. Like they're not gonna go run of the mill 800s. They're about to go PB, so you have to as well. And I was so scared. Oh my goodness. And I remember I was going down the straightaway, and I don't know if like I was saying it out loud or if I was just saying it in my head, but I was saying like, I want in. I don't want to weigh out. I don't want to like give myself an out. I want in. And I counted 3 seconds behind Talia when I was counting 1, 2, 3, and I was like, yes, I did it. And then it was 1 second. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I was like, and it just goes to show that time is not real. Time is not real at all. I was like, and all of my family told me they were counting 2. They were like, we counted 3 seconds. I was like, what the heck? Like, that's crazy. But it was cool. I think there's something about, as a heptathlete, when you do well in the 8, it's like I honestly think you can PR in 6 of the events and get huge PBs, and if you do bad in the 8, you just feel awful, you know. And I think that at the same time, somebody can do like really bad in all the events, and if they get a huge 800 PB, it's like it kind of feels better. And I hate that. I hate that energy. But like it kind of is what it is. So it is kind of like a also going into the Olympic year knowing that I have that.
It's such a body of work.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
it is
my
so.
gosh.
It is, and listening to that, the mental math that you're playing consistently must be so tiring
Yeah.
to decompress after an event like this and the emotions of becoming an Olympian for the first time. What does that process look like for you? How long does it take to let it settle, let yourself relax for
Still
a moment?
happening, I feel
Yeah.
But then also think, okay, in a month's time, I got to go again at the biggest competition of my life. What does this process look like for you now in the next month?
Yeah, so for me, you know, what I'm doing right now is I'm just, I'm taking in every single thing. I'm taking the Olympics really seriously. And I'm taking in every single thing that I need to do to show up. And I believe that I kind of gave myself an out at Worlds for that medal.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a part of me that knew I could do it, but I think there was something subconscious in me that didn't think I deserved it. And so I'm working really mentally to be like, Chari, like there are a lot of things that you can do in practice, in training, and I'm going to be very intentionally, mentally and physically so that I can put myself in a position and give myself a true chance to medal at the Olympics, for sure.
I was talking to Anna about this at USA's last year, and then just, you know, yesterday having a conversation with her about just sort of like the women's heptathlon, just like at the very top is just like so stacked.
Yeah.
And like for the common fan who's out there who may not be as familiar, I guess, like, could you explain sort of like the storylines to watch out for? Because you will be like, you know, a player in, you know, kind of the top end of that competition.
Yeah, I mean, the storyline is crazy because there are people who are what we call day 1 girls and day 2 girls. So something, and then there's Anna. No, or like Nafi, right?
Yeah.
Nafi's amazing. KJ, like, I mean, there are people who are just like absolutely incredible. It's fun because there are people who throw like so amazingly well that they could almost be open throwers. And like I think Anouk, I don't know exactly where she was, but I think she might have been in like 9th place going into the javelin, and then she was in 3rd.
Wow.
Like that's how absolutely elite she is in her throws, and she's elite. I mean, I think that she would even consider, she had 2 fouls in the long jump, and she had to take a safe jump, right? She's also an elite long jumper as well, so that probably would have looked a lot different had she been able to do a decent long jump. But it's one of those things where you have to kind of try to find your way into being both a day 1 and day 2 girl. My coach told me yesterday after long jump, because I was so bummed. I was like, dang, like I didn't. And she was like, no, you did great. I'm going to take that on me because you did exactly what I told you to do and you weren't on the board. You were behind, but I was feeling the wind, and I was saying, when you feel this wind, you back up this much. She's like, and you did exactly correct. And now so you are a day 2 girl now, Chari. So I'm hoping that translates well, and I can show up and do that day 1 where I was in 3rd place going into day 2 and become that day 2 girl and see what I can do.
I'm curious, what do you prefer? Meaning, like, do you prefer going into day 2 being like, all right, I've got my work cut out for me and I want to catch up? Or do you prefer going in saying, no, I'm on top, I want to hold my place? Like, what plays to your strengths?
I mean, because I've always been a day 1 girl, like, I think it would be really stressful to be like, holy cow, like, I have to focus on day 2. I appreciate being like, like already, and then I like, let's see if I can even build on top of that. Like I think, and I think everybody would, but I think if somebody could ask themselves, would I rather be a day 1 girl or a day 2 girl? I think everybody would choose to be a day 2 girl, because that would mean that they had the ace of the 800 up their sleeve, and like the javelin, which can be like a really high scoring, and so is the long jump. Those are like some really high scoring events too. So to be a day 2 girl can be like, have its like really big advantages.
Yeah.
The stakes of this competition, no speeches this time around for me, I guess, like to your fellow competitors, or what?
Like before we went in?
Yeah, because I mean, it's like you guys are all competing for the same spots, right?
That is actually really interesting. I think that I was so afraid I'm gonna be honest, I was so scared. I don't even remember, like, I do remember actually Anna, like, gave me a hug and said, let's make this team. And I was like, sitting there being like, I want to run a 204. Can we trade 800 for a second? Because that would be so nice to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, like, she's so incredible. Anyways, so I'm gonna stop talking about my Anna fangirl club. I think that what it was is I think it gets so stressful because I love Talia, I love Michelle, I love Anna, and so it is so tough because there's just that part of you that like just wishes that we could all go. Like if we all got a certain score, we were all guaranteed in. So that way we could all just like work together because we really do have so much respect for each other. Like I was able to have like a small conversation with Michelle. I hate the idea I've been left off of a team, and it's almost like when you're left off a team, it's almost like people forget that you're not you're not incredible. Like she went 64-60 this year.
This year I'm not 100%
at
sure.
Gotsis. So at Gotsis, she went 64-6. Like she's an amazing athlete. She's absolutely like incredible, and she deserves to be on the world stage, like she does. And it so happens that so does Talia, so do I, so do Anna. There's so many girls who really do deserve their flowers, and because we're American, we don't all get to get them at the same time, and so it's tough. And I told her, I was like, you're gonna make a team. I was like, stay healthy, stay on it. You're young, like you're freaking phenomenal. You're a freaking beast, dude. And like, talk about that 206 coming in clutch. Like she ran as hard as she possibly could, and she did it such a good job. And I have so much respect for her. I have so much respect for all my competitors. So yes, I did want to give a speech. I just don't think I was. I don't think I was like mentally. I was like sitting there like I'm gonna die.
Well, I guess like that's what like the ultimate championships that are coming about like in 2026 or forward, where it's like, oh, there might be like we'll just take the best of the best, and like even if a country has 4 or 5 people, I guess I'm not sure.
Wait, is that what is happening?
Well, yeah, in 2026, but I don't know how for the multis if it's gonna be the same thing. But like, if in the men's 100 we have like the 5 best guys at the top of the list, I think we sent 5. Like there haven't been as many like details out there about that, but like there could be a chance sort of like where we've got 4 women competing at the ultimate championships.
Sending out the vibes.
Yeah, I hope that's how it works out.
Sure. Yeah.
But it kind of to that point, like the last couple years in this sport, it's been like Olympics, World Championships, Olympics, World Championships. Now they added that ultimate championships in 2026. Then we've got more World Championships and Olympics. Like as an elite athlete, you have to be on like for all those seasons in a row. What's that been like, I guess, for you? Because it's not just like even focusing on one event. And you've got 7 events to really hone your craft in over the course, and like every year's a championship.
Yeah, it's really interesting because unless you get the standard, which is like they're raising it every single year all the time, and because they want you to play the game of like the ranking system. And I think like the number one thing I would say to somebody who like if I was going to talk to like my girls on, like I would say like you've got to start, if there's a game to play, you have to play it. Like you have to go for the numbers. You have to go to the competitions that are going to get you the best points, and you have to do them. Like I had to set up for 2023 in 2022.
Wow.
So I went to Arona so that I could get the points for 2022. Didn't end up making the team because I took 4th, and the girls ended up getting it within that ranking spot. But it ended up, that's what got me to 2023. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I technically qualified for 2022 with this 2020. I technically qualified for 2023 with my 2022 point totals.
I'm tracking.
Same thing with this year. Same thing with this year is I used my scores from World Championships last year. That was huge for me within the ranking system this year. Yeah. So you have to be willing to play the game, and you can't play the game on the year. It's too stressful. Yeah. It's too stressful in the heptathlon.
Well, yeah, you've got that right now with Australians,
well,
right?
We don't have a selection trials. Ours purely works off world rankings, or if you obviously run, jump, throw the automatic qualifier, then your spot's pretty well secured. But it is
People
interesting.
Are traveling around
we
everywhere.
have plenty of guys go to Gotsis, like, try and chase these big points and big movements. But yeah, it's really is a headache if you're trying to do it too late.
Totally.
Like, to your point.
And in my opinion, like because I love Gotsis is like just a magical place to go.
Yeah.
But unless you are going and you know you're gonna score top 3 at Gotsis, it's not worth going. Like if you want to play the game, if you're not gonna take a top 4, I guess I would say top 5, because if you're taking top 5, you're scoring pretty decently.
Yeah.
But you want to go to the meets that are right around Gotsis, right before or right after, because less athletes are going to those.
Higher
So
placing.
you can get, I mean, if you're going 60, 100 points, but you're winning, you're getting more points than if
You
you're
get the
going
bonus points.
63 and
Yeah.
taking 4th.
This is great. This is America
Wow.
understands the point system. This is refreshing. Yeah,
And
I like it.
Well, you have
Yeah.
to know that in order to go. And now you show up to the trials and you already are ranked.
Yeah.
I don't need to come and get. I mean, imagine had I not been ranked. I had such a good thing and I was so close.
Yeah.
I'm not ranked. I'm 20 points shy of the
standard?
standard.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
I
would
mean,
you-
25 points shy of the standard.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a steeplechaser who's going out to like Philadelphia to try and run the time like this Saturday. Like, there's no way your body would be able to handle another decathlon
They can just
competition.
put one on their schedule and be like, all right, Chari, here we go. Yeah, 7 more. Yeah,
I'd be
let's
like,
go.
let's do it. I'd be like, we'd probably find a way. I'd probably be like, okay, put me in like a hyperbaric chamber. I'm gonna sleep in that for the next like week. I'd probably try to find a way, but
Yeah, to that point, who is it that informs you of that system? Like, was it your manager, your coach? Like, who wraps their head around it first to then teach you so then you can understand what it looks like a year out?
yeah. So what actually happened is we realized after the Olympic trials in 2021 that I wouldn't have even made it unless I would have gotten the standard. Even if I had taken 3rd and gotten a PB, unless I would have made the standard, we were like, we wouldn't have made it anyways. We watched girls who went, back then it was 64-20 was the standard for the heptathlon. And there was a girl, I don't know if you guys remember, Tyra Gittins went 64-19 and she was ranked 25th. And she did not go. And there were girls who had gone 63-10.
Yeah.
But they did it at the correct meets.
So they had the points.
And they had the points, and they went to the Olympics, and she didn't.
Wow.
And she went 64-19, which is an insane score. She did it at NC2As, which is not ranked. It's like an F meet.
Lower.
That's got to be the hard
Yeah.
part here, right?
Yeah, that it's just like we have all these college athletes running crazy fast performances, and they get like no points for.
Well, and she's not an American athlete, so like she didn't need to even have the trial. She just needed to get the ranking,
Wow.
and she missed out on by 1 point and one place, which was like that's like the ultimate, like, you know, like the whole what if. Whenever we do like scenarios, and it's like, well, what if da da da, and it's like, oh yeah, fat chance. It's like, nope,
Yeah,
that's
that happened.
exactly
Yeah.
what happened, like in every way.
Wow.
And when that happened. It was actually me and my husband were like, okay, what's going on? And we just dug. And we read all the boring
It's a lot.
bylaws
Yeah.
and all of the pages of like what it is. And we looked at the ranking points and we were like, whoa, we got to get on this. If we're going to do it, we got to play the game. And so it was really like, you know, they send you these like pamphlets and it seems like, oh, okay, like it's fine. But like it really is actually really important. It's a huge advantage to read it.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Oh,
cost you any money, just takes a little time.
So I guess one of the cool things about you is just sort of like this audience and following that you've built up, you know, through the content that you produce, like on social media, and bringing along so many people for the ride, essentially, of getting to this point. It's funny things like explaining the world ranking system that like that doesn't make for any good content, but like in the grand scheme of things, what is it like, I guess, to bring these people along and explain sort of like this is the journey that it took for you to get here? Because like I'm sure there are people out there who are just like, just watch these trials for you and this performance, and this is like kind of like not the finale, but like a really happy episode in the whole grand scheme of things.
Yeah, it feels like the crescendo.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
everything
yeah.
just like, whoa. Like, yeah, no, it is like crazy. It's also crazy. I get told this a lot by, you know how, like we always say, like the athletes, like the athletes you compete against are like the 1%. And then like the people you like are talking to that are like, have your back. That's like who you want to be talking to. You like, I'm not teaching A skips to like Fred Curley, right? Like he knows how to do A skips, right? And so, but I want to teach A skips to people who love running and want to get better and want to like, you know, perform more, because I saw the difference. Like I remember the moment my coach was having me run and she was like, oh my gosh, like that's cute, good try. And then finally she goes, A skip. and I started A-skipping when running, she's like, thank you. And it was like this big like boom. And I was like, I am a professional athlete. And I just realized that A-skips are not just silly little drills that we're doing at the beginning of the day. And that's why I love teaching why we do things. But it's funny because I think that what happens is, I hope this isn't always the case, but I think that the people that I teach, like they see me as like, wow, like somebody who like wants to help me get better because she's gotten better. And like we build this like partnership together. Like I'm here to help you because look at how it's helped me. But I think that like within the athlete scope, like I don't know, I mean, I'm just gonna call myself out. Like I don't know if I'm as respected within like the athlete community. Like I think they don't take me as seriously, and I think I surprise them every time I make a team.
Exactly.
I really do. I think they're like,
she made the team off
how is she still here? They're always like, what is that? Why does she have? Why are people following her? Like she's not good. That's actually a direct quote. Like from
anonymous athlete.
Yes, she's not good. Like why is she here? And I'm like, I've made like, this is my 5th team. And it's like, but they're kind of like, yeah, but like, and then I'm hoping I'm like, the whole point is like, hey, like technique is actually important and you can get better and you can like keep going. And I also like, I think sometimes like I'm like a NARP in an athletic body, you know, like, and like truly like I am just like a person that just tries and tries and tries, and I'm like, dang it, I didn't do it, or like, dang it, that was not good, and I just keep going and I learn and I grow and I get better, and then now I'm going to the Olympics.
Love that.
That's so happy.
All NARPs out there.
No, but there is the thing. The thing is like the key. Honestly, here's the thing. Do you want to know? You want to be an Olympian? Okay, this is what you do. You do something that you're like not horrible at, like, and then you just keep doing it and you stay healthy.
Easy as that.
I love it.
I'm being so serious. If you keep doing it, you keep doing it, and you stay healthy, and you do it with purpose.
Right.
You'll, and it doesn't even have to be an Olympic thing. Like if Olympics is the top of athletic, it's like you want to be the top of anything you want to do.
Yeah.
Like stay healthy, whether it's mentally, physically, like within the scope. Like if it's business or whatever, like make sure you're like staying like healthy, blah, 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 and then keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Even when you fall, even when you cry, even when you hate it, like just keep doing it.
Well, and how do you tune out that negative noise that you talked about? You know, the people on the side of even like, oh, I think these people think this about me. How do you tune that out and laser focus?
Well, I think sometimes you also have to kind of just like call a spade is like, I get where they're coming from. Like, I get it. Like, but also, like I also know me, right? Like, so it's like, I get it. Like I get from the surface, like I'm 33. Like I wasn't a phenom when I was young. I think I was 24 when I graduated college and I went 5,700 points. You know what I mean? It's like, like who's looking at that girl to be and being like, oh yeah, like Olympian. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get it. But I also, I think it's, you trust you trust your team, you trust your coaches, and you see, like, also, I don't know, you guys know, like, when you're at practice, you see your potential, and you see what happens, and it doesn't always come out on the floor, but, like, you see it, you know, so.
Wow. To that point, again, it must be incredibly validating sitting here right now with that silver medal around your neck. I guess to that point, like the range of emotions that you feel from pride to validation and sort of that, I don't know how you don't get overawed or like completely overstimulated and like over the top. Like how do you keep yourself kind of leveled to keep your composure and maintain like the way that you're talking right now? It's so direct and it's so leveled. Like if it was me, I'd be over the top, rah, like, yeah, look at me now. Like you're so, you're so leveled out.
The thing is, anybody who like, you know, looks at my following, like I hope you guys know, like it's not because those are my fans. It's like those are actually like my friends that like I've taught how to, like we're running together. We're getting better. They're getting better with me. Like that's what it is. It's not like I'm not like a superstar that everybody's like, wow, like I need to follow her. Yeah. It's like I want to teach people how to be better. And that's like my biggest thing, like also to people who want to grow their social media following is what I would honestly say is like care about like who you're putting things out for, and like have something to say. And it isn't, I think that sometimes we want to be like, oh, like I want to be a celebrity and that's why I want to like, and it's like, no, like that's not even fulfilling either. Yeah. Like what's fulfilling is when you walk around the stadium after, you know, when you're in your thing and somebody comes up to you and says like, you took away my knee pain because I'm running better.
That happened on the
Oh
Victor
yes.
Lap?
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. Somebody saying like, hey, like I'm here because like I hadn't been running in years, and like I started doing your drills and it made me excited, so then I started running and now I'm running. Like that's what's fun.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm such a huge fan and I think you're amazing. It's like that's really complimentary, but it's like it's like that's what people think they want, but it's like it's the connection. It's the, you know, like that's what's more fun. It's and I'm just like, I'm so honored with like all the genuine friendships that I've made from like social media, like actual social media, like really connecting. So like that's cool. But having like being able to have like the validity behind it and being like, I know what I'm talking about when I'm teaching you things. Like I know what I'm talking about. That makes it
now just wearing the mask.
Yeah. I'll just like, this will just be my personality
good.
now. It's
Yeah.
like,
You need to incorporate that into the drills.
You're like,
Okay, you know.
hello? You're like, you want a medal? This is how you do it.
I love it. I'm going to be tuning in now.
I love that.
Just kind of, we sat down with Trey Hardy earlier in the week, and
cool.
like he's made just that transition to the broadcast booth just like so well, and it's, you know, I think part of that is knowing every single event. I mean, just hearing you speak, you've got plenty of great competition days ahead of you, but like what is sort of like the vision post sort of competition where like, I don't know, like I feel like you'd be also really great in a broadcast booth setting, but then at the same time, like I remember after our interview in Budapest last year, my fiance watched it and was like, she needs to be like a Peloton instructor, and she would just absolutely crush that. So like for you, are there some of these other ventures like that you're already kind of setting the pieces in motion to like, hey, like, you know, if I ever want to get a call into the broadcast booth, like here's all the work I have to show for it.
Like I think for something that would be like really exciting for me is, I don't know if it like even exists, but I would love to like do like coaches, like camps and stuff like that, because I think that like being able to teach athletes young the correct form, the correct positions, the correct all of that thing, XYZ, but a lot of coaches don't, they don't know, like, because they only know what they've been taught, right?
Yeah.
And they're so limited. And I get so many messages from people being like, hey, I show all your videos to all of my kids. Like, do you have anything for hurdles? Do you have anything for high jump? And like being able to like really like, my background is in education. I have my master's and bachelor's in education.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make sure that I'm like be professional. And
It's not TV, so like the dump truck has
Every
been the
time.
bane of our existence for the last couple days.
You went full education though. You're like, I'll wait.
So my background is in education. I have my bachelor's and master's in education. And originally, my mom was a teacher.
Yeah.
And my mom had to teach a principal that like, my mom is a really high energy person. That's where I get a lot of it from. And my mom would like come home every day and she would just be like miserable. And she would just come home and sleep. And that is so not my mom. And like, I remember being like, bosses matter. And I wanted to be a superintendent so that I could make sure that the principals in all of the schools were like making their teachers' lives better. Because if your teacher's lives better, your students' lives better. I feel the same way, the same type of passion about coaches. And if I can teach coaches, you know, not only like technically how to coach your kids, but like also let them know like this is the proper way to motivate somebody. Like I know that there are athletes that need to be motivated by getting yelled at. That is true. That is like a real thing. Yeah. But it's also really important as a coach to know your athlete. Know when to say things like, hey, you need to get it together. Like right now, go get it together. Go jump that dang bar right now. Or you need to be able to be like, look, close your eyes. envision yourself doing it.
Close your eyes, Mitch.
Yeah, do it. Close your eyes. Envision yourself doing it. Feel yourself doing it. Now stop thinking about it and go trust that you can do it. You know, kind of a thing. And being
the hell out of my way.
And being able to know your athlete. And like I do feel like just from all of the experiences that I've had, understanding things that work, things that don't work, and I would love to be able to like go across the country and like work with coaches and be like, hey, every coach, like when you come to this clinic, you get to bring 5 athletes and we get to work together and I get to, you know, and like all of that kind of stuff. Like I would love to do something like that. Some sort of passion project like that would be amazing. Don't know what it would look like, but something like that would be super cool.
Geez, you can translate across the business. You can translate across a lot. I think you get a lot of people. I got a left of center question.
Yeah.
The wristband. I don't know if you're a Taylor Swift fan.
How cute
so
is this?
I was trying to read
Love
that in
it.
the mix zone, and I didn't know that's what it said. So Paris with love hearts on it. I don't know if the cameras can see that at all. Who made that? When did they make it? Walk me through it.
If you made this, message me. Somebody, when I was told me they made me a friendship bracelet.
Oh, they gave it to you?
Yes, after the competition when I was making my
That's
rounds.
epic.
And I was like, I love it. I love this with all of my heart.
Wow.
Like, so much.
Well,
Is
I
this
can
not
tell
the
that, but
cutest
you
thing?
were wearing that in the mix zone. Like
Yeah.
you've had that on
I
since
know.
then, yeah.
I haven't taken it off.
Yeah.
I refuse. In fact, I think I changed and it flew off and I was like,
Get out of
and
my
I
way.
just,
Yeah.
I just like freaked out.
Wow.
That was like somewhere else. But
I
you're
know.
like, where's that
Who
bracelet?
cares
Yeah.
about this? I need the bracelet.
But that's to your point, the community that you've built. Like someone's
Yeah.
obviously gone out of their way to do. Wow, that's so cool.
I know. Please message me. I love it. Thank you.
We got to
I
find
love
them.
it.
Someone did submit sort of like some of your old
Javelins?
javelin
Wait,
videos.
is that not the best?
Yeah, so like I'm pulling up the one, and Mac, maybe you could pull it up on screen too. But
Sure, this is the one you sent me.
yeah, so this is June 9th, 2016. And you captioned this one. This is also look at what Instagram looked like back then. Like
I know.
And so it's way beyond just sort of like the highly produced reels. This is straight up off an iPhone. It's always good to pleasantly surprise your coach, I guess. I've been working so hard to get better at the javelin, and good practice days always make a person feel better. And it's been a frustrating road. I say that like my problems are over. I can't read after.
we've
I
all
say that.
been
The thing is, I can
We've all
hear my
been there.
own thought process while you're saying it.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful. You guys are so great. Thanks for sharing this journey with me. # Road to Rio. And like,
Wow.
look at it. We've come so far. That it's
I
like
know.
Paris is the one that ended up like happening for you.
Yeah, it's so funny because my coach at the time, his name's Josh Priester. He's super cool. And I remember him telling me, like, look, like, Rio's probably not going to happen for you. But he's like, I think your journey is Tokyo. So, like, if you can, like, commit, he's like, it is a long journey. But he's like, if you can commit, I think you can do it. And I was like, okay, cool. And I remember him saying that and being like, okay. But then I think I got like a 250 point PB on my first hep, and he was like,
Wow.
you might make it to Rio. So we're gonna keep working, and like it was actually like really fun. And yeah, it's cool to like hear everybody has a journey, but I think it's the difference is when you end up being at the space you are. Like I said, I think that the key was that no matter what journeys happened, they take the lessons that they learned, they kept going, and then they stayed healthy. Because I think health is like the number one. Like you can't always control that. So it's like being able to stay healthy and then just keep going, no matter what the journey looks like. Sometimes it's ugly. Sometimes the roads are treacherous.
Yeah.
But I also, like, I mean, I think it's cliche, but sometimes the most treacherous roads that you have to climb up, that's what gets you the best quads.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, love that.
Is that cliche?
No. You
I
changed
made-
the cliche.
I made
Yeah,
the
you
I
made
made
it
the
an athletic
cliche.
cliche. Yeah.
She's like climbing some
Yeah.
tough roads.
Yes. Quad game.
Awesome, Chari. Well, thanks so much for stopping by this morning.
Of course,
And
of
I'm
course.
sure you're going to get back to training, super motivated. Oh, perfectly timed to dump trucks like right over here. But best of luck in training over the next couple of weeks, and we're so excited for you in Paris.
Yeah,
Are you guys going to
Congratulations.
Paris?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Heck
we're
yeah.
actually going to have a crew there. So
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
We'll see you
Congratulations,
there.
Chari. Well
Thank
done.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to swap out with Eric, but we'll be right back after the short break.